Hey everybody, hey. So today we are going to be having a talk. I'm going to let you know a couple of things. So I wanted to talk about why I quit my job. Yes, I quit my job and I have my little notes here. I wrote down some stuff, so we're going to be talking about it because I feel like it's a lot of people out here that's in the same situation. The same pattern keeps happening to people, and I believe it's not talked about enough. So here goes. So the one thing I do want to say that this is my disclaimer. These are just my opinions, my experience, what I went through. I'm not speaking for nobody else. I'm only talking about what I went through and what affected me. Okay. I'm not trying to recommend anybody to quit their job. I'm only giving my account of what happened. Okay. So it was a cluster of things that led me to quit my job. It wasn't just one, two, three, or even five things that happened. It was a whole bunch of shit that happened. So number one, things kept changing. And I know that this company that I work for, they are known for constantly changing how things work. Well, I was there for 10 years. 10 years. I started in 2015. So I knew that things changed, and in the beginning, that's cool. You don't know what you don't like until you've been into it for a while. So things kept changing, how things were done. I worked at a call center. So we had a lineup of things we could do, can't do, just like any job. You have your protocols of what the job calls for. So I didn't like how things kept changing. Number two, we had this thing called realignments where our schedules were changing every 6 months. So, and it's done by a bid. Like, it goes off of your metrics, your numbers, how good you perform. So if you perform really well, you could get your first choice of the shift that you wanted to work. And 9 times out of 10, I got the shift that I wanted. But that doesn't mean that worked for my life all the time. You know what I mean? So that's number two. I didn't like the realignment that my shift kept changing. Number three was big for me. I just didn't know it back then that fast forward to 2025 that was going to be a problem for me. And it was the mental part of it, the trauma that I went through from all the years of putting up with BS. It affected me. I quit my job February of 2025, and it is now the end of July, and I am affected. I didn't know how it was going to affect me, but it has. Some days I'll just start crying. I'll think about something that I went through that was traumatic, and then I'll just start crying. So the mental part of it, it was enough to just make me say, I'm done. Okay. Number four was the stress. And this one was a big one. I didn't know that I was stressed out. People always say that stress will kill you, but stress is something you cannot see. You can't even feel it sometimes because it's inside. So stress was killing me. I remember going to the doctor back in it was May of 2024. And my doctor told me, Cherie, you have heart issues. And it was something about my cardiac flares was up. So I remember going to the doctor to test out my heart. I did a stress test. My stress test was very high. Like, I was stressed out. A walking stroke waiting to happen, basically, is what it was. So that was another thing that, and she had even told me, she was like, what kind of job do you do? Like, ain't you working at a call center or something? She was like, you need to find you another job. And so I remember, I was like, I can't quit my job. I'm a single woman. I got bills. I can't quit my job. And she said, okay, well, keep doing what you're doing. Basically, like, she wasn't making me. She said, I'm just here to tell you what's up. I said, okay. So the stress was number four. Number five, I didn't know this then, but I now know. But feeling bullied. And this is something that a lot of people don't know while they're inside of something. but I was bullied. Not only me, like my coworkers, anybody who worked for this company. I felt bullied. Bullied trying to keep up my metrics. Hey, you need to do this on your phone calls. You need to do that. Whatever I done was not enough. Uh, they wanted basically to sell your soul. They didn't care how you had to get the job done. They just wanted the job done, and they wanted you to fix the company problem. The company knew that it had problems. They knew towers, was not good. Like I worked for a cell phone company, and towers wasn't good. Whenever the towers go down, by us being the front line, we had to explain that to the customer and try to kiss their ass and let them know, hey, this is what's going on and blah, blah, blah. And if we got a bad score, yeah, we had to have a conversation about that. Like, why did you get a bad survey? And I'm like, well, I'm trying to explain why you got these shitty ass towers to these customers, but I can only do so much, but to them, they didn't care. So feeling bullied, and it wasn't fun anymore. When I first started, it was so fun. We enjoyed coming to work because we knew we were going to have fun. So the fun got yanked out of it. I was mentally tired. When I would get off work, y'all, I didn't want to do nothing else but sleep, and enjoy time to myself. Like, I didn't have time to go to parties and kick it because up here was tired. Up here was drained. So that was another thing. Another one was work just kept getting piled on. Something new. We got to do this. Oh, you got to do this on your phone call. I didn't like that. Customers became more aggressive. They changed our demographic. It went from taking phone calls in Pennsylvania, Brooklyn, Staten Island, Florida. Like, we would take phone calls from all over, but the customers became more aggressive, and the customers are more aggressive because shit keep changing with the company. You're taking these customers' money, but you're not giving them the service that goes along with it. So yeah, that they're going to be pissed off when they call in, and they did not care who they were talking to. You were going to get it, you were going to hear them, and you were going to fix their problem. Okay. Y'all, another thing, I kept having to open up FMLA claims. Like, it was always something going on, like my health. I needed to take a mental break. And I think at one point, I think I remember in those 10 years, I probably opened up about 22 claims. And this is no lie. I'm not fronting. 22 claims that I had to take off for weeks at a time, maybe months at a time, under doctor's order, doctor's care. So that was another thing. The final thing was my mom died. My mom died in July 2024. She worked for the government, and she took phone calls helping clients, and she was there for like 42 years. She went through the same thing. So me and her connected on taking these phone calls, and the stress that we went through. We would just try to encourage each other, and she had heart problems to the point to where she had to get a pacemaker. So I knew the drama that she went through with her in the customer service field. So when I started hearing from my doctor some of the red flags that my mama went through, I knew that was my time. I knew my time was up. And so I just didn't know how to do it. So because I didn't know how to quit my job, I woke up February 19th. I woke up February 19th, 2025, and something said, I can't do it. I don't want to do it no more. I don't know what the other side of this looked like, y'all, and I didn't care. I didn't give a shit. Honestly, I didn't care if I lost it all. I just didn't want to have to clock in another day at that job. I couldn't do it. Yes, I had bills. Yes, I had obligations. The thing that saved me was because I didn't have a husband. I didn't have kids. I didn't have a family. So that made it easier for me. It made it easier for me to just give it all up. And y'all, when I tell you, when I sent that text message to my supervisor that this is it, of course she tried to call me and, hey, let's talk about this, and no. I was done talking because I had been talking and giving my feedback, what I didn't like and blah. But one thing about a corporate job, they don't give a fuck how you feel. They'll make you think that they care, that, oh, you can come in the office and talk. They don't care. They don't want to hear your complaints about what need to be fixed, what the customers need to do. They just want you to be on their phones and be the face of the company, this pretty face. So, y'all, the day I quit my job, a weight, I do mean a weight, was lifted off of me. I didn't know what was going to come after that. I didn't care. I just know how I felt. So that's why I quit my job. A whole list of things, and it probably was more stuff, but these were the main things. But when my mom died, I knew that I was going to be out of there, and it was one of the best decisions that I ever made. So I encourage anybody, if you're feeling like how I was, stuck, I kept looking at, oh, I've been with them 5 years and 7 years and 8 years. Don't ever look at the years, okay? My suggestion is, if it's not working for you, find a way out. Because companies, they will get rid of you, and they will have a next class coming in to train them to do your job. So never get stuck on how long you've been with a company, because it ain't going to mean a damn thing. When you get sick, when you die, they're not going to care. So you do what you have to do for you right now. So that's all I wanted to come to you all and say. I hope everybody is having a good day, and take care till the next video. Bye.